Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. In this video, we will understand and practice the SQL group by queries with examples. As the name suggests, group by is used to group the rows of a particular table into a summary table. We will use this table to understand and practice the group by queries. So let's take a look at the columns. This table has 9 columns, starting with the ID column, which is the primary key of this table. So it has unique values in each record. Next is the listing year. So this is the year when the property was listed. It's an integer value and we have values from 2002 to 2022. Next is the date recorded. So again, the data type over here is a date data type. Next is the name of the town. So it's a varchar data type, and then the address of the property, which is again a varchar column. Next we have the assessed value and the sales amount. So both of these are numeric values, and we have a ratio of these values over here as sales ratio, and the last column is the property type. So there can be different type of properties like condo, single family, residential, commercial, etc. So this is the table. Now let's start with the examples. So this is our example 1, where we need to calculate the record counts for each year. So if I go back to the table, we have a year column, list year or listing year. So we need to calculate the record counts for each year. Okay, so if I just try to take a look at the distinct years which are available, we can just run a distinct list year query like this, and that will give us different years available in this table. So I don't think it's ordered correctly, or okay, 2006. Okay, so we have 17 years listed over here, and we need to calculate the record counts for each of this year. Okay, so let's do that. So we'll start with select star from table name. So in this case, the schema is public and the table name is real estate sales. Okay, then what we need to do is we need to group this particular table by this list year. So what we will write is group by and then we will write list year. Okay, so this way once we say group by list year, the server will understand that we need to group this particular data by list year, and it will show all the years, distinct years that are available over here. Okay, so if we just run this query, okay, and then execute it, we are getting exactly same as distinct list year. Okay, this is the distinct list year. We have 17 rows over here. Similarly, this is the group by, and we have 17 rows. So what's the difference between distinct and this group by? You can apply different type of aggregate functions in case of group by, okay, which you cannot do over here. Like this is you cannot apply you cannot get the record counts over here, right, for each of this year. So what we will do is we will apply the aggregate function called count, and we'll just do a count star, and let's see the output. Okay, so for 2006 we have around 43 lakh records, right? For 2007 we have 31. Similarly, all of these record counts are there. So I think now we can understand that how this group by works is basically first you put the column which you want to group by, and then you put the same column name after select, and you put some aggregate functions. In this case, we are putting the count. So this simple query will give us the record counts for each year. Let's move on to the next example. So over here, we need to calculate the record counts for property types with over 25,000 records. So let's do it step by step. Okay, so first we need to know what is the property type. So let's head over to the table once again. I will execute this query, select star. Okay, so we have a column called property type. So let's check the distinct values over here. So we have 11 distinct values. We have apartment, commercial, condo, 4 family, etc. So we will do the same thing. Let me just copy this query from example 1 and I'll paste it over here, and I'll just change it with property type. I'll put it after select. Okay, so if I just run this query, it will show me the property types and their corresponding record counts, right? Same as year, but for property types. Okay, but for this example, there is one more criteria, which is we need to show the property types in the result which has over 25,000 records. So over here, if I manually look at it, I can see this one has more than 25,000, this one, this 4 I think has more than 25,000 record counts, right? Okay, now how to do that in this query? So there is a clause called having. Okay, having clause where we can just put it like this: count star greater than 25. So it should be over 25,000 records. So it's greater than 25,000, and this should be our query. Okay, so what happens over here? Why do I need this having clause? Is because I want to do the aggregation and then check the value, if the value is greater than 25,000 or not. Okay, so you might have a question like, why do I need to use having instead I can use where clause? But if you think about it, like where clause only filters the columns which are already present. Okay, if you try to do count star, which is an aggregate function, it will not work properly. Okay, so after you do the group by and do the aggregation, okay, you have to use having, okay, to do the filtering. So let's take a look at the example 3 to better understand this. Okay, example 3 is basically calculate the total amount. Okay, now it is asking us to calculate the total amount per year for commercial property types. Okay, so we will again do it step by step. We need to calculate the total amount per year. Okay, it says per year, so I have to do the group by using year column. So I'll copy the same query from example 1. Okay, so this is the query from example 1 where we have group by using the year, and we have calculated the record counts. Okay, but over here it says total amount. Okay, now let's go back to the main table. This is the amount column, right? Sales amount. Okay, now we cannot use definitely we cannot use count star, that is to calculate the record count. Okay, but to calculate the total amount, what we can do is we can use the sum function. So instead of saying count star, what we will do is we will say sum of sales amount. Okay, so this will give us the total amount by year. Okay, you can also rename this column. So in the results here it's showing as sum. You can rename it using this particular syntax. I'm using PostgreSQL, so I have to use double quote to mention the column name, since I think I'll put a space over here, total amount. Okay, you can mention it like this. So now we have year and the corresponding total amount. Okay, now let's apply the other filters. Okay, now this one says we only need to calculate the total amount per year for commercial property types. Okay, so let's again go back to the table. So we have a property type column, and there must be a commercial property type. Okay, so let's take a look at that. This is the commercial property type. Okay, I'll just copy this and I'll put it over here in the where condition. Okay, see, these are the rows for commercial property types. Okay, so basically what I'm doing over here is I'm viewing the table only for property type equal to commercial. So wherever property type is commercial, only those rows I want to view. Okay, so this is the filter, right? This is the filter to get the rows, right? So we can use this exactly same filter over here in example 3. Okay, what I can do after from, I can write this, and this will filter out only the commercial property types. Okay, so now you might have a question, why do I have to put where before the group by? Okay, the reason is, first you are filtering by this property type. Okay, so you are filtering by this property type. So let's say there are 100 rows, for example, in the table, and you are filtering by commercial property type. So now let's say you have 20 rows. Okay, the other 80 rows are for other property types, so we don't need that. So now let's say we have 20 rows. Now within that 20 rows, I want to do the group by. Okay, I don't want to do it on the entire set. I just want to do it on that smaller set which is property type equal to commercial. By the way, if you have any questions, you can put it down in the comment section. I'll be happy to reply to your queries or concerns or feedback. Okay, so that's it. This is example 3. We have calculated the total amount for each year for the commercial property type. By the way, the other years are not visible. That's fine because the data is like that. Okay, we don't have property type commercial for other years. That's why it's not present over here. Okay, we can also confirm that. Let me go back to this. Okay, I can just write distinct list year to confirm those are the only 3 years where we have property type commercial: 20, 21, 22. 20, 21, 22. Perfect. Okay, let's go to the example 4. So this one is a little bit complicated. Okay, let's try to do it again step by step. We have to calculate the record count and total amount. So now we have to calculate both the record count as well as the total amount per year. So per year basically tells you that you have to do the group by using that year column. Okay, and town. So okay, now we have to do it using 2 columns. We have to do the group by using 2 columns. We have to group by using year and town. Okay, and then there is more, like we have to do it for residential property types with over 2000 records. Okay, so let's not take a look at this right now, only let's take a look at this portion for now. Okay, we have to calculate the record count and total amount per year and town. Okay, so I'll again copy the query from example 1. Over here I'm calculating the record count. Okay, I'm not calculating the total amount. Okay, per year. Okay, now let's add town. First let's add town. Okay, I'll just write, think it's called town. Yep, I also have to put it over here, otherwise I'll not be able to view it in the result. Okay, so after select you have both list year and town. After group by you have list year and town. Okay, now let's run this. Okay, so over here you can see you have year and then you have the town and then the corresponding count. Okay, one thing I want to do over here is I want to do a order by. Okay, this is optional. Yeah, you can skip it as well, but why I want to do it is it will be easier for us to visualize the data. Okay, See now 2006 is coming in a particular order. Okay, so all of this 2006 year is here, and then we have the town. Okay, all the town under it. Okay, similarly if I scroll below, there should be 2007, all the towns inside it, 2008, all the towns inside it, and their corresponding record counts. Okay, and you have to remember that when you are doing group by, order by will come at the end. Okay, yeah, order by is always at the end. Okay, now this one says we have to calculate record count as well as total amount. So what I'll do is I'll put sum of sales amount and I'll run the query. So now we have the total amount as well. Okay, you can rename the column if you want. For example, total amount. Okay, so over here I'm not putting any space, so I can just write it like this. But if I want to put a space, I have to put it inside double quote, since space character is not allowed. Okay, so if you are using SQL Server, instead of double quote you will put this square bracket. Okay, for PostgreSQL you have to use this double quote. Okay, okay, so I think we are done with till this part. Okay, so calculate record count and total amount per year and town. We have that data now. Okay, now it says we only want this for residential property types. Okay, in our earlier example we saw a similar case where we are filtering by commercial, but this one says we have to filter by residential. Okay, so I'll take the same filter criteria and change it. Okay, I'll put it over here. I need that value, so I'll just copy it from here, residential. Okay, and I will run this. Okay, now you have to take a look over here. We are again putting the where clause before group by. Okay, where is always before group by. Okay, and having is always after group by. That's the difference. Okay, so I think we are done till this part, right? One last portion is with over 2000 records. Okay, so again it says the same thing. Okay, we are doing the record count over here, and we want to filter it by record count, where record count is more than 2000. So again we are calculating the record count using this aggregate function, right? So this will be part of the having. Okay, not where. Where is basically, okay, before doing the group by, if you want to filter out something, then this having is useful. Sorry, where is useful. Okay, but if you want to do it for a aggregate function or after the group by, then you have to use the having function. Okay, so after group by we'll put having count star greater than 2000. So this example has all the details. Okay, so we have group by using 2 columns. Okay, we have multiple aggregate functions used over here. Okay, we have where clause as well as we have the having clause. Okay, so let me repeat it again. So first we'll have select, then we have to put the table name after from, then we will put where clause. Okay, where clause is always after from. After the table name you have to put the where clause. Then we will put the group by. Okay, then we will have having if you want to filter by the aggregated values, and then finally if you want you can put the order by. So this is our result set for residential properties, more than 2000 record count. So all of these are more than 2000, and this is the total amount. Again, let me know if you have any questions, or you like if you have any feedback. Please let me know if I have missed anything, or or how I can improve it. Do let me know. Let's move on to the final example number 5. So what we will do over here is we need to calculate the minimum and maximum sales ratio. Okay, so sales ratio, if I go back to the table, sales ratio is this column. Okay, it's a like ratio between assessed value and sales amount. This is the sales ratio. Okay, Okay, so sales ratio for each month in 2020 for commercial property types. This part is, I think, we are already clear. We have already done it so many times. But this section, let's take a look at this. For each month, okay, now we don't have any month column. Okay, we have year column, we have date column, but we don't have a month column. So what we have to do is we have to extract the month from this date column and do the group by. Okay, we can also do that. The syntax might be different for different database. Okay, I'm using PostgreSQL. Let's take a look at that, and then we will move on to other like SQL Server syntax as well. So the table name over here. Okay, so this one says for each month. Okay, so we will group by using month. Now, in order to do the group by, I'll have to use the extract function. Okay, I'll have to use the extract function, and inside that month from date. Okay, so we'll put the exact same thing over here, and this is my month, right? And let's see if this query is valid or not. Okay, it says extract, so I'll rename this. I'll rename this as month. Okay, this is not sorted. Okay, so if you want to sort it, you can do it. This is optional, by the way. If you want, you can do. Okay, now it is sorted 1 2 3 4 up to 12. Okay, now it says we have to calculate the minimum and maximum sales ratio. Okay, so calculating minimum maximum values are very simple. Okay, I'll just put it in the next line so that it's easier for us to understand. So to calculate the mean value, we have a mean function, sales ratio. Similarly, we have a max function to get the maximum value. Okay, all of these are aggregate functions. Okay, so we have mean and max, both values. Okay, now next, so up to this we are done. Okay, so calculate mean and max sales ratio for each month. Now it says in 2020, so we have we need to only do it for 2020. Okay, okay, now we only need to do it for 2020. Okay, so 2020, it's like we already have a column for that, right? It's called list here, so we can just simply filter by that. I'll just go over here and then filter by list year equal to 2020. Why do I want to use it inside where? Because I want to first filter by the year 2020 and then do the group by. Okay, I don't need to do it for other years. Okay, I just need to do it for year 2020, right? So I'll put it over here. Okay, so now we are filtering by the year 2020 and then doing the group by using the month. Okay, now one more criteria is needed. This is, we need to do it for commercial properties. So I'll just copy paste this one that we already have. Okay, now we are putting two filters inside where clause. So I'll put and condition. Okay, that's it. So we have the month and the minimum values, the maximum values for sales ratio. Okay, you can rename this columns as well using this similar syntax. Okay, but it's optional. If you want to do it, you can do it. Okay, that's all I have for this video. Please let me know if you have any feedback or questions in the comments. I'll be happy to reply to that. Thank you.